I am on a mission to play every single Resident Evil game for the first time. However, I will complete each game with a different challenge. And today I'm gonna play Resident Evil Village for the first time. And the challenge is to get the Platinum Trophy in under 24 hours. So, will I be able to complete this challenge? Let's find out. It was a rainy, cozy night and my wife was reading a bedtime story for my big-headed daughter. A story that was so lame even she couldn't stand it. Then my wife ordered me to take the kid upstairs and put her to bed before she gives me her backhand like yesterday. So I quickly did that, wrote an email to Husband Protective Services and quickly got back down hoping to God that I wouldn't be beaten tonight. But then Mia got angry because I was breathing too loud and hit me. She told me that she was sick and tired of me constantly getting frame mugged every time we go outside, and if I didn't start frame maxing she was gonna leave me. And for once in my life I told her no. I was sick and tired of her bossing me around. Ethan, do this, Ethan, do that, Ethan, come and get me, Ethan, stay away. And I told her that I regret the day that I pulled up to Louisiana to come and get her. But then, just before she broke the wine bottle on my skull, Mia got shot. Then a mysterious figure appeared through the smoke, revealing himself to be Chris Redfield? He told me that he was angry because Jill cancelled the wedding and ran off with some twink, and he was gonna take it all on me by killing my wife and stealing my daughter. And when I objected, I got knocked out so bad that I started getting flashbacks of Mia when she was a sweetheart, before she started drinking red wine every day. And the next thing I knew, I woke up in the middle of nowhere, and after walking for what felt like ages, I stumbled upon this cabin where they kept mice in their closets. So I quickly ran away and oh, it was daytime now. I looked around the village hoping to find someone who would help me, and unlike those savages back in Spain, these villagers were very welcoming. This grandpa over here told me that this village was full of zombies and proceeded to give me his rusted, taped up, dirty ass gun. Well, first of all, ew, I ain't touching that. And second of all, zombies. You see, your mistake is thinking that this is Raccoon City. Buddy, this is Romania. Oh shit, he died before I finished my Fast and Furious reference. After taking one good look at those creatures, I immediately knew that there were no zombies. And some crazy scientific experience was going on in this village that I totally needed to figure out. So I shot this one in the head and swiftly ran past him in order to get the bolt cutter, and then sat there and watched him run away, only for him to come back to jump me with his balding cousin. I tried running away through the basement, but the entire family tree was out to get me. They even got arrows and everything. They were so relentless that even after I tried to hide in this house, they just busted their way in. And when their big brother started beating on my house, I said screw this, jumped off the roof and booked it. And after stabbing them with my Bluetooth knife, I got hit with an arrow and one of them just yeeted my booty across the village. And when I saw them closing in on me with horses and axes, I was like, yeah, this is it. I just closed my eyes and started praying. But then, out of nowhere, they just stopped, then left. Is it bingo already? Why I never get invited to those? And then some random grandma showed up, asked if I was hungry, then offered to give me some of the cookies that she just baked. To which I responded, nah grandma, I can't, I'm on a diet. I'm trying to frame max to impress my dead wife. And after taking one look at my 4'11", 600 pounds physique, she was like, diet? Sweetie, you're just skin and bones, you gotta eat. So after eating grandma's 300,000 calories cookies, it was time to continue investigating the village. I went to the local church where I found this map, and when I went to Louisa's house, I was surprised to find the most beautiful lady in all of the village. And her bitch ass father. She said that her father was injured and she needed help to get him inside of Louisa's house. But because she's a woman and I'm a man, I dismissed everything she said and I was trying to figure out a way to shoot my shot. Now I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit of a simp. I agreed to help her father, jumped through the window and climbed to the other side of the gate in order to open it for them. It was embarrassing. But just before I opened the gate, it hit me. I was a simp. I mean, what was I doing? My sweet wife Mia just died a couple of hours ago and I'm out here simping for the fine village shouty. So after opening the gate and letting them in, I looked at her and I said, no, my wife just died and I'm not interested. To which she responded, damn, I was eyeing you the entire time and I really like the fact that you're a 6'2" nonchalant dreadhead who mugs people. And I was just about to ask you on a date. Whoa, hold on. I don't think you understood me. I said my wife is dead and I am interested. And when I met her family, they were not happy. They were like, who's this stranger and why he's in our house? Then they forced me to sit down and started questioning me, and her father asked what were my intentions with his daughter and all that. My father taught me that honesty goes a long way. So I looked her father dead in the eye and I said, I'm just trying to fuck. And for some reason the whole family got angry and her father started tweaking and attacking everybody. And just before he got the chance to rip my face off, Shouty shot him in the face and got him off. Oh my god, Elena, Mia would never. So I took Elena's hand and I told her that we gotta go, sis. Elena was heartbroken that she shot her father, and she told me that her family were having a hard time even before those creatures attacked, and her father was always there for her. But again, because she's a woman and I'm a man, I looked at her and I said, you know what else is hard? My dick. Luckily, after looking around the area, I found the key for the truck, fired that bad boy up and told Elena to stay back cause I was gonna brute force my way through the barricaded door. It didn't work, but thankfully Shouty said that we could escape through the attic, so I followed her there. And just before we managed to escape, her annoying ass father pulled up from the dead and started yelling her name. Blinded by her love for her father, she jumped down to help him. I tried my best to save my Shouty, but the floor was too fragile to support both of their weights, so it collapsed and robbed me of my Elena. Well, GG I guess. So after escaping, I made my way back to the church and opened this door that led to the castle. But before I even made it inside, Magnet Boy pulled up, stabbed my shit and dragged me to some secret meeting with a bunch of weirdos.
Shut the fuck up!
And when I told them that they were just a bunch of cornballs, Wesker wannabes, they got angry and sent their minions to get me. Nah bro, they caught you lacking with this zesty death pose. And when I finally made it to the gates of the castle, it was there where I met the Duke. Similar to his distant cousin, La Merchant, I could buy stuff from him, sell stuff to him, and upgrade my weapons. So after doing some business with the Duke, it was time to go inside of the castle and continue the investigation. Immediately upon arrival, 3 vampire ladies pulled up, pushed me to the ground and stabbed me, then started talking dirty to me, then dragged me around, all seductive and shit. Now I'm not gonna lie, I was bricked up during this entire interaction. With my wife Mia dead, I haven't felt the touch of a woman since like 12 hours or something. It was really hard. But thankfully, instead of taking me to a private room then started sucking the life out of my shit, they took me to their old hag of a mother who decided to just hang me around like I was a chandelier or something. And this is good because it meant that I wouldn't be cheating on my wife on the same day that she died. So after freeing myself and crawling for a bit, I made it to where they kidnapped my innocent body a minute ago, only for one of the sisters to pull up again to continue harassing me.
Let me string you up, slice your jugular, and just watch.
Lady, that sounds so hot. I might just let you do that, to be honest. And just when I thought that I had escaped her, she came back and hit me. Now wait a minute, nobody, and I mean nobody, gets to hit me except my sweet pumpkin of a wife, Mia. So I pushed that hoe out of the way and emptied my entire shotgun shells on her face until she turned into dust. After having done that, I was proud of myself. I resisted my manly urges and stayed celibate to honor the memory of my wife. That is up until one of the other sisters pulled up and licked my face. I did manage to run away from her, but I'm not gonna even lie, I really wanted to go back there and tell her to lick me all over. But thankfully I managed to control myself this time, which meant that I needed to get out of there before it was too late. Going back to the old hag, I overheard her on the phone talking shit about my daughter. She was like, big-headed this, ugly kid that, so I busted my way inside with my knife out, ready to British her Romania. But all of this was a setup, and she came from behind and started beating me so hard that I fell through the floor a couple of stories down. And to make a bad situation worse, the same lady that licked me a minute ago came back and licked me again. But this time, I just stood there and let it happen and told her to do it again. Then she started licking me all over, and during a lapse of judgment, I told her that she could lick my no-no square. Usually, when women come near my no-no square, I would be like, no, don't touch me there, this is my no-no square. But this time, I just didn't do anything. And after what just happened, I ran off to the courtyard because Mia liked plants and shit, then cried my heart out when I realized what I just did. But just like Leona, I couldn't just curl up in the corner and cry about it. So I stood up, wiped my tears, and promised myself that I would not leave this place until I kill every single one of those hoes. So I blew that licky hoe off the face of the earth, became a pianist, and let it shine on sister number 3. Oh shit. Nope, I didn't want to open them up.
Even I can get this. Is that all?
Ha 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 ha. Ho had an epic fight with the old hag and made sure that she would never be able to make fun of my daughter ever again. And after taking this mysterious pickle jar, I was finally out of that place. I found grandma nearby and she did offer me some more cookies, but I used the most bulletproof strategy that counters all grandmas, which is to agree to do whatever they want you to do, but never actually do it. I didn't even know that this was an achievement. Going back to the Duke, I showed him that pickle jar that I found, and after taking one look at it, he told me that this is one of the pieces of my daughter, specifically her head. I was horrified, but mainly skeptical cause ain't no way my daughter's big ass head could fit in there. But the Duke did confirm that this was indeed one of the pieces, and I needed 4 pieces in order to complete my daughter. So we're playing jigsaw puzzle with my daughter now. So going back to the main village and totally not wasting over 40 minutes in order to find a way to get inside of this house and get this key, I finally made it to the Benavento house, and I was not ready for any of that. Look out the window. Oh no, you're gonna jump scare me? Which window? This one? Oh, this one. Goofy ass. So, the Benavento house. It was all pink and cutesy. There was a mannequin that looked like my dead wife, a sewing machine that looked like my mom's in real life, a place to hide in case the mannequin became alive. I did choke my mannequin wife though, but at least the movie was great. Up until this happened. Rosa-Marie! Oh, Rosemary! Stop crying, baby! I'm coming for you, baby! I'm coming for you, chérie! Allons-y! Or whatever French people be saying. Where are you, baby? I came for you from La France, all the way from Paris. Ew, who are you, gang? Nah, gang, this is not supposed to be a horror game. Bro got me burping and shit. Nah, gang, I'm turning up the brightness all the way up. I don't even care. Nah, gang, that ain't me, gang. That ain't me, gang. That ain't me, gang. Nah. That ain't me, gang. Ain't nobody here, gang. Nah. Please, gang. That ain't me. Gang. I'm out of here. Gang, open up, gang. Open up, gang. Open up, gang. Suck it, you little shit. Thank God. Let me just turn this back down. And just when I thought it was all over, Psycho Girl pulled up and had me play peekaboo with her bitch ass doll. And after putting Psycho Girl down, I got my pickled daughter and stole her bitch ass doll. And with that, I was finally out of that place. And with the second pickle jar inserted, it was time to pull up to Moreau. Nah, you can't get me, I'm on the roof. I'm dead. Dumbass. Surprisingly, acquiring the pickle jar was as easy as just reaching for it, so that's what I did. But then out of nowhere, Chris pulled up and started teasing me about my dead wife. He was like, wow, your wife is dead and she's ugly. I got angry and told him that Mia was the most attractive lady in all of Romania, and he was just jealous because his sexy fox of a lady Jill left him for Leona. He got furious and told me to never say her name ever again. So I looked at him and I said, Jill. Then Moreau pulled up all handsome and shit. I then did his obstacle course and got a prize, turned the power back on in order to open the sluice to drain the water, beat the living hell out of Moreau and got the magnum and whatever this is, and just like that, only one pickle jar left to be collected. So the next objective was to collect it. On my way to getting that jar, these creatures were all over the place. They had bows, axes, and they were climbing all over, but just like every other video game, I just ran past everything because why not? Up until Big Boy from the village pulled up and I had to actually fight him, and with a couple of explosions he was no longer with us. And when I got the last pickle jar, Magnet Boy called and said that he wants to join forces, and when I asked him what he meant by that, he said that he hates Mother Miranda and I should too, and he was gonna use my daughter's big head to defeat her. I immediately said no, cause my daughter is not some sort of weapon that could be utilized to kill others. She's just a sweet, innocent, big-headed kid, and I will not let anyone even come close to using her for evil. He then got angry and hanged up on me. I didn't really care though because I was so excited to get my daughter back. But after inserting the last piece of my pickled daughter, instead of my sweet angel reappearing, I just opened some goofy ass secret passage that led to Magnet Boy's factory, where he pulled up and started yapping all over the place. Mother Miranda this, she doesn't love me that, and at this point I was fed up with his bitch ass. So I laid it real simple for him. He either get that using Rosemary to kill Miranda idea out of his head, or I will beat the magnet out of his ass. And like the stubborn child that he is, he chose the second option. Nice. Again? My God. Now the factory section was nothing to write home about. There were a bunch of goons here and there, a bunch of scary drill boys that will definitely not come to life, mold this then mold that, get lost in the factory maze, play Ring Around the Rosie with this sweetheart, and have a blast with Fanboy. Magnet Boy then came back again and said that he was done playing with me and he was gonna kill Mother Miranda with or without my help, then transformed to whatever this is, and I ended up taking a quick bath. And oh my god, it was this guy again. But this time his demeanor was more apologetic and less Chris Redfieldy. He said that he was gonna explain everything from A to Z and I only needed to shut up for a minute. So I skeptically agreed. He said that the woman that he killed was not Mia but rather Mother Miranda, and she has been impersonating Mia for the past 6 months in order to gain access to Rosemary to use her to achieve her evil goals. And somehow Mother Miranda managed to survive a literal shot to the head. And by the way, she's a resident in this village. I was so ready to call bullshit, but then I was like, 6 months, 6 months. Oh my god, this is literally the time when Mia started drinking red wine and getting all abusive with me. And every time I addressed this issue to her, she just gave me a foot job. It was so hard. I mean, no, this meant that I was cheating on my wife for like 6 months. Ew. Chris said that it was okay because I didn't didn't really know that she wasn't the real Mia. I mean, yeah, but the mere fact of knowing that I was clapping cheeks that didn't belong to Mia was revolting to me. But I'm sure that the real Mia wouldn't even mind. Going back to reality, Chris said that I needed to use this thing in order to defeat Magnet Boy. So after the longest F to P pressed, I rolled up to the battlefield and delivered on my promise to Magnet Boy. Then I called Chris to tell him that it was done, who for some reason saved himself on my phone as the alpha. This guy is a cornball, I swear to God. My wife Mia then appeared out of nowhere and I was so ready to run at her and apologize for not realizing that she had been replaced. However, when I got close to her, I smelled lavender. Wait a minute, my baby mama doesn't smell like no lavender. She smells like onions and potato starch cause she was always cooking for my bitch ass. So I raised my gun and I said, "Give it up, Miranda." Miranda then transformed to her true self and revealed her entire plan. You see, Miranda is in love with me and she kidnapped Mia, then took her place in order to get me to be in love with her. However, every time I called her Mia, it was like I had ripped a piece of her heart. And that's why she was violent towards me, cause she was heartbroken. So she pretended to kidnap Rose in order to have me experience the loss of a child, since she herself lost her own child, and she was hoping that this experience would bring us closer to each other and we could bond over it. I couldn't even begin to process this, so I told her that she was a crazy hoe and this guy belongs to Mia and only Mia. She then freaked out and told me that she was more than willing to be my own Mia if it meant that she would be able to spend the rest of her life with me. But me being the loyal man that I am, I looked at her and I said, "Nuh-uh." She then said, "If I can't have you, nobody can," ripped my heart out of my body, then walked off like a G. Meanwhile, Chris was doing what he has always been doing since Resident Evil 1, which is to pull up to some place, shoot everything that moves, then call Daddy BSAA and tell him that it's done. He did find my baby mama though, so I guess I'll give him that. Going back to me, I woke up in the middle of nowhere and freezing to death. And to put the icing on the cake, that little shit Evelyn from Resident Evil 7, the game that I totally played before this one, was there as well. She kept calling me a poo-poo head and a big dummy dum-dum and said that I would never see my daughter again. So I looked at her and I used the only card that works on every kid, which is to tell them that their nemesis kid is more behaved than them and they should be more like them. Turns out it was all a dream and I was in the back of the Duke's wagon and he was taking me to my daughter. So I did some last minute shopping, thanked the Duke for everything, then went on my merry way. Hey, yo, Mother Miranda, what are you doing? There she was, my sweet angel, all big-headed and everything. I told Miranda to hand over my baby or else. She said no. Chris shot her in the face. I took my daughter from her, then our final battle had begun. With each shot, I thought of Mia, my sweet wife and baby mama. I already let her down by letting this imposter in our house, so I was not going to let her down again. So I shot and I shot and I shot until Miranda was dead. And finally, all of this was over and my Rose was in my hands again. Chris then rushed to help me and told me that they were going to blow this place sky high and we needed to go. But as he was carrying me to safety, I stopped for a moment and I said, "No, I can't. I couldn't go back to Mia, not as a cheating husband. Immediately after she died, I was already chasing other women. I didn't deserve Mia, nor fatherhood for that matter. I was a bad husband and my family deserved better." So I gave Rose to Chris and told him to take her to Mia, took the detonator from him and walked back to the root of all evil, and then I detonated the bomb and made sure that no one else would ever suffer as I had. My family didn't need me, they were fine on their own, and as long as Rose was with Mia, I knew that she would be okay. I just hoped that my wife would remember me as a loving husband and not as some low-life degenerate who spent his final days chasing after women while his wife was taking care of their daughter. And with that, I finished my first playthrough of the game with 10 hours and 30 minutes of playtime and 22 achievements. And now it was time for trophy hunting. So, was I able to get all of the achievements of the main game within 24 hours? Nah. But here's what happened after I saved my daughter.